The saga continues. There's more on the menu of the Reformation story to include. It still is essentially a 16, so it makes sense to see it didn't stop at century 16. I'm not an expert, but please accept my efforts to express some highlighted excerpts. Not that we worship them, nor were they perfect men, but recognize the Lord did his work in them. So we sift through these works of apostles, pastors, preachers, teachers. These are God's gifts to his church. They make Christ the center like the pivot in the paint, thus preserving the faith once delivered to the saints. His church prevails, will not get shook and bothered. It's chronicled by authors like Fox's Book of Martyrs, now receiving the lessons. Patterned within catechisms, creeds, and confessions. Indeed, it's a blessing. We're not to conform, our responses we mourn. It hurts, the visible church needs constant reform. Don't make nonsense the norm. New concepts are born, search like Ponce de Leon, and the gospel it launch. This is not to ignore that we're built on the rock, and the flock of the Lord won't stop till we're born, and it don't stop, it don't stop, won't stop, won't stop, won't stop. If we seek true revival, peep the arrival of Jonathan Edwards, who preached through the Bible. Weighty address, it's clear he did not laugh. The way he expressed the fierceness of God's wrath is said that it's deep. It left the people in the pews on the edge of their seat, just from letting them speak about H-E-double-L. In case we want to tell that God is a God of grace who doesn't yell. Cause some confused standing in Christ with God has a wonderful plan for your life, but the cross we deliver with confidence. If you're lost in your sin and there's consequence, you get tossed in the fiery lake for bacon men, but the Lord uses writings for great awakening. It's not to work division, but perfect for searching within today's church that is purpose driven. We're not to conform, our responses we mourn. It hurts, the visible church needs constant reform. Don't make nonsense the norm. New concepts are born, search like Ponce de Leon, and the gospel it launch. This is not to ignore that we're built on the rock, and the flock of the Lord won't stop till we're born, and it don't stop, it don't stop, won't stop, won't stop, won't stop. John Calvin, like reformers have commented, the central focus of all things God's glory is the common thread. After his theological weight, they pack within an acronym the doctrines of grace. It's improbable to get tulip doubtfully without the T in its domino effect. If this page never drew ink, we wouldn't have the total depravity of man written by A.W. Pink. Demonstrative spill that man can't respond like Martin Luther due to the bondage of the will. We don't cooperate with God like Catholicism or cynicism. It is wisdom that it's monogism. This theology is hard. The first step to accept its depth is that we're kept through the sovereignty of God. We trust and obey him by grace, not knowing justification by faith. By John Owen, who come to teach if Christ hung to be sin for all men, why condemn if sin includes unbelief? If we take urgent from scriptures, we recreate versions of men like C.H. Spurgeon. It's not a new format. If you draw back to John Gill, you find it spilled 100 years before that, or even Augustine 1,000 years before that. So all to be aroused to support that, it's all fact. We're not to conform, our responses we mourn. It hurts, the visible church needs constant reform. Don't make nonsense the norm. New concepts are born, search like Ponce de Leon, and the gospel it launch. This is not to ignore that we're built on the rock, and the flock of the Lord won't stop till we're born, and it don't stop, it don't stop, won't stop.